Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Baina Midday News, coming to you live from our news hub, Atomic Junction, Benab House, Accra. My name is Fawzia Abdullah. Coming up this afternoon. Growing calls for government to swiftly prosecute MPs who were involved in attacking the Director of Operations of the Anti-Galamsey Task Force team and its members who had visited the Ahafo region to clamp down on illegal miners in the Gwaso Shidiem area. Also in this package, 2 immigration officers shot dead in the Upper East region by unknown assailants as investigation commences to bring perpetrators to book. And on the foreign front, Nigeria dismisses U.S. President Trump's warning of military action and its designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern over religious freedom violations. These and many more stories coming up shortly. Do stay. You're welcome back and thank you for staying. We're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at Baina TV. Now let's move on to our very first story. The afternoon calls have heightened for President Mahama to crack the whip on 2 members of parliament for allegedly attacking the Director General of the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations team in the Ahafo region. The fight against illegal mining took a dramatic turn over the weekend after the team was attacked by a group of thugs allegedly led by the Member of Parliament for Esuatifi North, Ebenezer Kweku Ado. Journalist Erastus Asare Donko, who first broke the news, says that the violent incident unfolded during a reconnaissance mission by NIMOS officials and a team of soldiers along the Gwaso Shidiem highway.
According to Erasmus Asare Donko, on Saturday, November 1st, 2025, the Director of Operations of NIMOS, accompanied by 10 soldiers, embarked on an official mission to identify a site for the permanent deployment of an anti-illegal mining task force in the Ahafo region. Along the Gwaso Shidiem highway, the team spotted an excavator actively engaging in mining near Bronikrum. Acting swiftly, they moved to the site and arrested several persons found mining illegally. The director instructed the suspect to refill the pit they had dug to prevent further environmental damage. When the site owner were called in, one of them arrived claiming to be a defense intelligence representative, while another, identified only as Alex, came in a Toyota RAV4 and arrogantly declared ownership of the mine. A third man, who drove a Range Rover, was also arrested. During the operation, the team discovered a Smith & Wesson pistol, 2 pistol magazines, 21 rounds of ammunition, 12 mobile phones, 11,000 cedis in cash, and other items. But matters quickly escalated when the Member of Parliament for Esuatifi North, Ebenezer Kweku Ado, stormed the scene with a group of thugs. The MP allegedly claimed he was sent by MP for Esuatifi South, Collins Dauda, and demanded that the suspect, including a Burkinabe national, has been released immediately. When the director refused, insisting on due process, the MP and his men turned violent, snatching the soldiers' handcuff keys and forcibly releasing the suspects. As the NIMOS team made its way to Shidiem police station to lodge a report, a mob of about 600 people, believed to have been mobilized by the MP, beside the station and demanded the release of the suspect and seized vehicles. The crowd threatened to discipline the soldiers if their demands were not met. The situation soon turned chaotic. The director's official vehicle was vandalized and the mob threatened to burn down the police station. Reinforcement led by Chief Superintendent Prince Odum Kodria and other senior officers were quickly dispatched to the scene, but tensions remained high. It took the intervention of the Zongo Chief of Widiem, Alhaji Mohammed Bashir Zarchi, to calm the situation. As night fell and power went out, the authorities, fearing bloodshed, agreed to release the seized vehicle keys to ease tension. The Zongo Chief then offered his Toyota car to help evacuate the NIMOS director and his team to safety under police escort. During the evacuation, the soldiers were physically attacked and the chief's vehicle had its rear windscreen smashed. Fortunately, no injuries were recorded. Speaking after the incident, the Director of Operations condemned the actions of the MP and his followers, describing them as a serious obstruction to lawful and illegal mining operation. He emphasized that the fight against illegal mining requires all citizens, especially public officials, to stand with the law, not against it. NIMOS says it remains resolute in its mission to combat illegal mining, protect Ghana's water bodies and forest reserves, and restore sanity to the mining sector despite the attack.
A while longer on this development, and there are growing calls for immediate action from the president following the attack on the NIMOS director and his team. In this report by my colleague Hindatu Muhammad, members of the public have expressed outrage over the incident and are demanding that those involved, including the MPs, be sanctioned without delay.
Reports reaching us indicate that the director of NIMOS and some soldiers were attacked on the Gosso-Hwidiem highway while they were on their way to an operation. They saw some group of illegal miners along the stretch and decided to catch them. However, later, the MP for Asutufi North it was alleged that he demanded the release of the arrested people, claiming he was sent by the MP of the area, Honorable Collins Dauda. We will also remember that President John Dramani Mahama promised to prosecute any official caught in illegal mining. We are here today on the streets of Medina to hear from the people what they have to say with regards to this situation. Let's go.
Yeah, they have to punish them. They have to punish them. But I think, these very people, the ministers, the former ministers, the present ministers, and the parliamentary, they are all doing this galamsey. Yes, because a lot of these earth-moving machines have been brought in. And what are they doing with them? Because they are using it for the galamsey. So the best thing, they have to stop. Even the gold, we don't need the gold now. I don't think we need gold now. This is not the present. This is not this thing that we have to. We need the gold. We don't need gold now. We only have to depend on our farming. Let's concentrate on the farming instead of gold, because gold is messing up everything. Look at the water, our rivers. Our rivers. These waters flow through the farms. And what happened? These chemicals, definitely they will absorb it. And we in turn will go and eat the food. What happens to us? What happens to us? Definitely, we are all in the sort of, we are in danger. Yes, because they bring in this food from the hinterland. You eat it. What happened? Yes, you have problem with your health. So as
you said, the MP, yes, he should be caught because we are all equal in this situation. I see the MPs among us as, let's say, they are higher than us. Let's say, first among equals. Although we are all equal, they are in higher positions than us. They control the affairs of the country. And in this situation, yes, he should be arrested. He should not be exempted. Else, he can continue, let's say, he can have the mindset that, oh, I can continue doing these things and have in the back of his mind that, no, I won't be arrested because of my position. So, yes, he should be arrested.
It's not good. One, it is spoiling our environment. Second, our water bodies. You understand? So, whoever they will catch, that's and illegally, the person is involved, they should arrest the person. You understand? That's the only thing I can say. Because without doing it like that, it will go a long way. You understand? So if somebody is doing it and the government know that it's not doing well, the person is not doing the right way, they should arrest them. Do you understand? That's the only way I can say. Only thing I can say about it.
Thank you very much.
Now make I say, the government akano, and one is obi edisu. Fi say galam say na say yensuo. I say in any bebre sisi ano. Nsuo na say. Nti amanduane a edi nyina ye ndro nko a yale nko a nti nka mutumi so galam say na nka babo Ghana. Nti da mi waka fa hono.
So you've heard from the people, we've spoken to them, and some are calling for the arrest of this MP and anyone caught in illegal mining. This is Hindatu reporting to you by Baina TV News, Medina, Accra.
Meanwhile, there are growing concerns about possible retaliatory attacks by the military in the community following the assault on the Naimos team by a group of thugs in the Gosso Shidiem enclave. Speaking to Baina News in a telephone interview, fraud and security consultant Richard Kumado condemned the attack but urged the military to exercise maximum restraint in their response.
Okay, so the question is a bit wrong. There's no... Okay, let's say that the director of NIMOS, in line with official duties, has been attacked at Ahafo region. And some of the people suspected to be behind are the MPs and the community youth that were outreach, who came into the street and did what they did. Now, attacking a law enforcement officer in the manner they did comes with some high levels of ramifications for the community. My suggestion is that the MPs and the people whose names have been mentioned needed to be arrested as quickly as possible. The government will need to take a decision. Other than that, the threat it poses to the NIMOS people, particularly when their boss is involved, is very huge. And if government doesn't take a decision, it will weaken the front. They will pretend as if they are working, and they will leave the job. And so that is where we are as a nation. The NIMOS boss plus 8 other soldiers. So in all, they were about 10 or 8. So it's not an allegation, it's not alleged. These are NIMOS people working with their boss on that whole stretch, doing one of the surveys or doing one of the security risk assessment, and they saw inappropriate mining going on, and they decided to do a spot check, and they decided to cause an arrest. So everything you saw is true. The only side where they have to pick up people is to find out the actual people, apart from the 2 MPs, to find out the actual people who instigated the mob against them and deal with them as quickly as possible. Yeah, once you attack soldiers in the manner they did, it comes with a lot of ramifications. If the soldiers realize that their back is against the wall, they have 2 things. It's either they fight to create escape, or they fight to safety, or they fight their way to death. And if the soldiers have fought their way to death, yesterday and today we wouldn't have heard a good news. They would have gone into the community and bastardized everybody. So I have always been saying, when soldiers are on duty and you attack them in the manner you did, well, you might be asking for trouble, and the SSCs will be too much for you to handle. To find out the actual people who instigated the mob against them and deal with them as quickly as possible. Yeah, once you attack soldiers in the manner they did, it comes with a lot of ramifications. If the soldiers realize that their back is against the wall, they have 2 things. It's either they fight to create escape, or they fight to safety, or they fight their way to death. And if the soldiers have fought their way to death, yesterday and today we wouldn't have heard a good news. They would have gone into the community and bastardized everybody. So I have always been saying, when soldiers are on duty and you attack them in the manner you did, well, you might be asking for trouble, and the SSCs will be too much for you to handle.
Now, news coming in now has it that the IGP has directed the CID to investigate the development, and the MP for Esuatifi North has been invited for questioning. Stay tuned to Baina TV, we'll keep you posted. Now, let's move on to other stories. In a related development, and 2 officers of the Ghana Immigration Service were ambushed and shot late Sunday night, November 2nd, at Nagani in the Timpani district of the Upper East region. According to sources within the regional command, the officers were returning from night duty on a motorbike when unidentified gunmen opened fire on them.
According to sources within the Upper East Regional Command of the Ghana Immigration Service, the attackers laid an ambush and shot at the unsuspecting officers, adding that both sustained severe injuries. The victims were immediately rushed to the Upper East Regional Hospital in Bolgatanga, where they are receiving emergency treatment. While the Ghana Immigration Service is yet to issue an official statement, reports indicate that an investigation has commenced to identify and arrest the perpetrators. The incident adds to a series of violent attacks targeting border security personnel in northern Ghana. It follows a similar assault at Bintri barely a month ago, where gunmen attacked 2 immigration officers at an inland checkpoint. The attack claimed the life of Assistant Immigration Control Officer 2, Rafiq Mohammed, and left Assistant Immigration Control Officer 2, Upon Daniel, critically injured. Investigators later retrieved AK-47 shell and a service rifle with registration number GH/GIS/HQACN 668-516-1646 from the scene. The recent wave of attacks has raised concerns over the safety of immigration officers operating along Ghana's borders, where personnel continue to face dangerous and challenging conditions.
Now to some party politics, and the Ashanti Regional Parliamentary Caucus of the New Patriotic Party has strongly condemned comments attributed to the Member of Parliament for Asante Achim South, Kweku Asante Boateng, describing them as divisive and contrary to the core principles of the party. Mr. Asante Boateng is reported to have claimed that the Asantes used slaves for war, and that descendants of such people do not deserve leadership or authority positions within the NPP. There is more in the following report. In a statement dated November 2nd, 2025, and signed by Caucus Secretary Vincent Eko Asafwa, the Ashanti NPP Parliamentary Caucus described the remarks as deeply offensive and inconsistent with the ideals of unity, equity, equality and inclusivity that define the party. It reads in parts, the Ashanti Regional Caucus completely disassociates itself from this narrative and condemns it in no uncertain terms. The NPP was founded on the timeless principles of freedom, equality of opportunity and inclusivity. Ours is a party that rewards merit, loyalty and service, not lineage, tribe or religious identity. The caucus reaffirmed that every member of the NPP, regardless of background, has an equal right to aspire to any opposition within the party or in national leadership. It further emphasized that the Ashanti region, as the party's stronghold, rejects any attempt to use history, tribe, or identity to divide its ranks or question the loyalty of any member. The group also urged all party members, especially those in leadership roles, to show restraint and decorum in their public statements, noting that respect and discipline are core values of the NPP. This development follows an earlier clarification by the NPP's national leadership, which also distanced the party from similar comments attributed to Asante Boateng, reaffirming its commitment to national unity, equality and inclusion. You're still watching Baina Midday News. We're back with more stories after this break. Do stay.
In a world hungry for meaning comes a stage unlike any other. 14 voices, 14 visions, one mission to inspire through talent rooted in truth.
In the nights where no one hears my whispers, Allah does. A direct relationship with Him feels like melting in His arms. No shame, no confusion, no barriers, just love.
From Quran to creativity, from knowledge to performance, they will compete not just to impress but to awaken hearts.
The Prophet ﷺ is speaking to you. He says that verily you have to hold on to my amana.
Why do people engage in illegal mining? The answer is very simple: quick money. The youth out there are jobless and therefore see illegal mining as a way to escape poverty.
I am Hamida Hussein. I am a wife, a mother, a teacher, a student, and a Muslimah. And I'm not yet done.
Every child, especially the girl child, should be given that opportunity to seek both Islamic and secular education.
They will be mentored by scholars, artists, and visionaries. But in the end, only one will rise. This fall, the world will witness the power of faith, art, and passion combined. This is the Show, showing Fridays at 8 p.m. only on Baina TV.
You're welcome back and thank you for staying. If you just tuned in, you're watching Baina Midday News and we're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at Baina TV. Now let's delve into the world of business. The Food and Beverages Association of Ghana has outlined 7 key expectations ahead of the 2026 national budget, urging government to adopt a business-friendly approach that supports industrial recovery, boosts investor confidence, and restores trust among businesses.
FABAG makes the following proposal ahead of the Finance Minister's presentation of the 2026 budget statement. 1. Reduction in nuisance taxes. FABAG is calling for a review of various levies, including the COVID-19 levy, excise duties, environmental excise tax, container fumigation fees, and other regulatory charges to ease the tax burdens on businesses. It also recommends targeted tax reliefs for local producers and SMEs to promote investment and job creation. Second, foreign exchange stability and inflation management. The association stressed the need for policies that ensure exchange rate stability and curb inflation to make production costs predictable and enhance investor confidence. 3. Support for local manufacturing and value addition. FABAG wants the 2026 budget to provide affordable financing, reduced energy costs, and clear incentives to strengthen local manufacturing, enhance productivity, and boost exports. 4. Halt on new taxes and levies. The group cautioned against introducing new taxes in 2026, noting that the business community is already overburdened. It instead urged governments to improve revenue collection efficiency and widen the tax base. 5. Streamlined regulation. FABAG called for improved coordination among regulatory bodies such as the GRA, FDA, and GSA to eliminate duplication and reduce bureaucratic costs. 6. Incentives for sustainable practices. Rather than imposing new environmental taxes, the association proposed tax rebates or subsidies for companies that adopt eco-friendly packaging and production practices. Lastly, promotion of investment and job creation. FABAG urged governments to create policies that attract both local and foreign investment into agro-processing and manufacturing to drive value addition and employment growth. According to FABAG, a realistic growth-oriented budget will stimulate industrial recovery, expand production capacity, and strengthen Ghana's position as a manufacturing and trade hub in West Africa.
And on the international front, the Nigerian government has dismissed the Trump administration's warning of possible military action and its decision to designate Nigeria as a country of particular concern over religious freedom violations. U.S. President Donald Trump has claimed that Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria and directed the Pentagon to prepare military options while threatening to halt all aid and assistance to the country.
In a swift response, Nigeria President Bola Tinubu said the comments do not reflect the national reality, stressing that religious tolerance remains a core tenet of Nigeria's collective identity. Nigeria was previously placed on the same U.S. list in 2020, but the designation was lifted in 2023. Nigeria's security concern remains multifaceted, ranging from Boko Haram insurgency to violent farmer-herder clashes and secessionist unrest. While attacks on Christians have attracted global attention, analysts note that many victims in the Muslim-majority North are also Muslims. The nation's roughly 220 million people are nearly evenly divided between Christianity and Islam, making the issue of religious persecution highly complex. Trump's announcement has triggered heated debate within Nigeria. While some citizens condemn it as a foreign interference, others view it as an opportunity for international collaboration to strengthen national security. The divided reaction underscores Nigeria's growing frustration and urgent desire for solutions to the country's prolonged insecurity.
And in the world of sports, British light heavyweight Joshua Boache marked his debut under new promoters Queensberry with a hard-fought but unconvincing point with over Zach Parker in Manchester. The Olympic bronze medalist claimed a majority decision after 10 rounds at the Co-op Life Arena, with 2 judges scoring it 96-94 in his favor and the third ruling it 95-95.
Most importantly, I'm glad I got the win. It was a different feeling after the Smith fight compared to this feeling, so I'll never take that away. Very grateful I got the win. Wasn't, of course, the type of performance that I wanted, but like I said, we got the win because the state and the feeling after the Smith fight is different to this one. This one, we won and we know it. It wasn't how we would have liked it to go. But the Smith one, we didn't win. So it was like, yo, we lost, man. You know, here we're like, we won. It wasn't how we wanted it to be, but we won. Not that I had a closer fight, but being on the floor so many times, like I'm like, and you thought you won. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm not saying that it was a whitewash, but I'm like, you can't be on the floor that many times and, you know, think that you won the fight, you know?
You said to Ada, you said, I salute every fighter who gets back in the ring, not
Absolutely,
just,
yeah.
but also gets back in the ring after a loss.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, you saying that, I don't want to put words in your mouth, Josh. Was it hard to get back into camp, back into the ring tonight?
No, not in that sense, but I respect it so much because when you lose, you might be like, you might lose your confidence, or you might not be entertained, but interested anymore, or whatever it is, but big up my bro, for sure, bro. Big up, man. Congrats, bro. I've been in touch, yeah. Sorry.
That's all right.
Lyndon Arthur, European champion, got to give him his
Of
credit.
course.
But in a sense that, you know, when you lose, different people end up doing different things. But I salute the fighters that get back in, because you might set up, call in a day, or you might not want to carry on, or it takes a lot to get back in there. You know what I mean? But for me, I had some time off, a few months, and I went back into camp. I had a very long camp, so I had time to, you know, process everything and get back into training and work. It's all I knew to do. All I said was, look, I've got months to prepare and to train and to get back into the swing of things, and that's what I did. I was away for so long, but it was very normal to me, yeah.
Now this brings us to the end of today's news bulletin, but before I take a leave of you, let's recap today's major headlines. calls for government to swiftly prosecute MPs who were involved in attacking the Director of Operations of the Anti-Galamsey Task Force team and its members who had visited the Ahafo region to clamp down on illegal miners in the Gosso Shidiem area. We also brought about 2 immigration officers shot dead in the Upper East region by unknown assailants as investigation commences to bring perpetrators to book. And on the international front, Nigeria dismisses U.S. President Trump's warning of military actions and its designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern over religious freedom violations.